Good morning. Welcome again to the readings of Under God. Patriotism is the golden keystone and the foundation of our American dream, and without that golden keystone, our American dreams collapse from within. These two gentlemen that have written books about patriotism, Toby Mack and Michael Tate, are wonderful patriots, very spiritual individuals who have devoted themselves to spirituality and great music. Our country is going through great turmoil right now. And we have factions that want to destroy the principles under which our country was founded. And I think that they have a misguided idea about helping other people to live the American dream, because we must maintain our Constitution. Without our Constitution, our country loses its ability to help others to live the American dream. So, a patriot has a commitment and a love for their country, not a hate, not a disdain, and is willing to remember its historical value. Okay. Benjamin who? Benjamin Rush, 1743 to 1813. So who is Benjamin Rush? Today it could be a $2,000 question on Jeopardy. When Dr. Benjamin Rush died in 1813, he was considered one of America's three most notable founders. Ranking up there were George Washington and Benjamin Franklin. But today, Dr. Rush and his contributions to our country are almost completely forgotten. As a patriot, Dr. Rush was a signer of the Declaration of Independence. Many of the delegates were disappointed with the number of compromises that had been made in writing the Constitution, but Dr. Rush saw the solid structure that had been achieved, the genius behind the system of checks and balances between the legislative, executive, and judicial branches, the creativity of having two bodies of Congress, the Senate with 2 votes per state, and the House with votes based on population. He pronounced it a masterpiece of human wisdom. As a physician, Dr. Rush has been called the most eminent American physician of his generation. He served as the Physician General of the Continental Army. He also heroically attacked a deadly yellow fever epidemic in Philadelphia in 1793 that claimed over 4,000 lives in 100 days. By studying old manuscripts, he discovered a cure that saved 6,000 lives. He was also the medical advisor and trainer to Meriwether Lewis before Lewis and William Clark embarked on their quest to explore the Northwest Territories. Dr. Rush spent 2 weeks training Lewis for medical emergencies that he might encounter on the expedition. As an educator, Dr. Rush served as professor of medicine at the University of Pennsylvania. He helped establish 5 universities and colleges. In 1791, he founded the First Day Society, an early form of today's Sunday schools. He also helped start America's first Bible Society. Known as the father of public schools, he called for free public education supported by a property tax. He wrote a pamphlet giving 12 reasons why the Bible needs to be the central textbook in schools. In his concluding remarks, he states, "I lament that we waste so much time and money in punishing crimes and take so little time and pain to prevent them. We neglect the only means of establishing and perpetuating our republican forms of government, that is, the universal education of our youth in the principles of Christianity by means of the Bible, equality among mankind, respect for just laws, and sober and frugal virtues." As an abolitionist, Dr. Rush was one of the black community's strongest white allies. He worked alongside Anthony Benezet to organize the Pennsylvania Society for Promoting the Abolition of Slavery, and later served as its president. He also wrote a scathing pamphlet exposing the evils of the entire institution of slavery. In 1787, Dr. Rush had a dream in which he was on a beach with a group of Africans who had been relating stories about the horrors of slavery when the ghost of Benezet, who had died in 1784, came walking down the beach to meet with them. Rush awoke, determined to continue Benezet's work, and dedicated himself afresh to the cause of his black brethren. Though still a slave owner himself, he promised freedom to his slave William Grubber. Rush was heavily involved in promoting the African Methodist Episcopal Church in Philadelphia. Richard Allen, founder and first bishop of the AME Church, acknowledged his great debt to Dr. Rush in his memoirs. He espoused the cause of the oppressed and aided us in the building of the house of the Lord for the poor Africans to worship in. When Benjamin Rush died in 1813, Thomas Jefferson wrote to John Adams, "Another of our friends of the 1776 is gone, my dear sir, and a better man than Rush could not have left us, more benevolent, more learned, of finer genius, or more honest." Adams wrote in reply, "I know of no character, living or dead, who has done more good, real good in America." Dr. Benjamin Rush was a man who profoundly respected and honored God, putting him first in everything he did. Though well known and greatly respected, he never separated himself from the cause of the common man. Throughout his life, he diligently served others as a patriot, a physician, an educator, and an abolitionist. May his name never be forgotten among us. I started this read yesterday. I read the short story of father of the American abolitionism. It's amazing how many people that signed the Declaration of Independence did not get talked about these days. It's also important that we think about something here that I think is equally as important. And that is that our country was founded on the founding principles found in the Bible. And I know that we have a very diverse population in our country that is made up of all kinds of religions. Having read the Bible myself, I find that very much of what is written in the Bible is of great value in being a decent human being. If we just were to take just the lessons that Jesus was teaching us about love and decency and embrace those things, our country would be so much better off. The idea that we were created in the image of God, and if we could just simply accept that we are creators in our own right and that we are very powerful in our ability to create great things, and are equally powerful in our ability to destroy in great ways, in ominous ways, I think that we would be more humble in our approach to how we treat ourselves and how we treat the world. There can be nothing more beneficial to mankind than the treatment of mankind and to our planet in general. So I think that today, what we should take away from this reading is that in the very beginning of our country, there were abolitionists, white abolitionists, and that we have fought long and hard to ensure that all men are free, that we all understand in our teachings and our foundations of our country that all men are created equal under God, that we are indivisible with liberty and justice for all in our country, and that those who seek to destroy that ideal with false accusations of racism should be shut down. We do not have the level of racism in this country that people are determined to bring forward in order to gain unearned power and wealth at the cost of our freedoms. So I don't think I need to say too much about that. I think that people in our country are way too smart and have gained way too much wisdom in their teaching of our forefathers and looking around at what we have achieved in the 200 plus years that we've been in existence as a country to fall for the falsehoods that are being promulgated by a few people in the streets who are determined to bring this country to its knees after 200 plus years of fighting to be a free country. It's an awful thing that we're experiencing right now, and I think that we can stand up as patriots and say no more. Anyway, that's what I have today. I hope that you will share my videos with others as I read about patriotism and about unity and about the fight for equality that went on from the very beginning of our country. And do not underestimate, or not underestimate, do not undervalue what has been going on since the beginning of our country. We are not a racist country. We are an equal country, and we fight always for equality for all who come to our country, to be citizens with us, to unite with us in the cause of equality, wealth, health, and prosperity for all. Thank you. Have a great day.